Alright, this is John Cola with OKRaw.com. Today I have another exciting episode for him here in Costa Rica, outside San Jose. Our flight takes off tomorrow. I can't wait to get home back to the States, back to my garden, back to all the organic food and all the conveniences that we have in the States that we take for granted. Anyways, the reason for this episode is I'm here in Escazú, Costa Rica, which is right outside San Jose, and I'm here at Plaza del Rio here in Escazú, and here at this plaza there's the Raw Co. It's a juicery and food. So this episode is gonna be another raw food restaurant review for you guys here in Costa Rica. This is the only raw food, all raw, nothing cooked they say, although they do pour hot water for a couple things, restaurant that I was able to find here in this area. There may be another one known as Mantras that's more down in San Jose that may serve raw and cooked, but I heard recently that they may have stopped serving raw foods. So yeah, let's head over to Raw Co Juicery and Food. So here's the Raw Co Juicery and Food, and basically how we got here was we walked from the hotel to here. It was about over 3 kilometers. I don't know how far that is, but it took us about 45 minutes to walk here. So, you know, this is one thing I always encourage you guys to do when going to a restaurant or before you eat, right? Get some exercise, right? Get hungry. I could tell you definitely after 45 minutes of walking, maybe not eating as much as I normally eat during this whole trip to Costa Rica, I'm actually quite hungry and actually quite relieved they're here, and I'll be eating some prepared raw food today. So the first thing I want to let you guys know is the hours of the Raw Co. This means hours, and this means Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday they open 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on Sundays they're not open, they're closed. Unfortunately, we got here on a Saturday like around 5, tried to eat because we thought they were open until 7. Didn't happen. And then Sundays are closed. So now we're here on Monday to have some of the food for lunch. I do want to let you guys know just down the corner in this same complex at this time, there's a little like fruit market and vegetable market. They have small selections of organic. So the first night when they were closed, we actually went there, got some avocados and lettuce, and that's what was for dinner. All right, let's head in and show you guys inside. So walking inside this reminds you of like actually a juice bar in Las Vegas, Nevada. There's like, it's very similar, like, you know, modern in setup. They actually got USB ports and a power plug at the bar so you guys can charge your cell phone and tablets and all this stuff. And then they just have a very simple layout. I mean, I think more raw food restaurants should be like this, and more juicery should be like this. Super simple. Basically, they have a cabinet here with all the different foods that they have available this week. These are samples only, so that you see all the different ingredients, although they'll mix it up for you. And here's the little menu. They got cold pressed juices and also like almond milks, flavored almond milks and whatnot. And they got different juices, and then they got different drinks, and then they got the different recipes and the prepared foods here. Plus they got a little to-go section that I'll show you guys in a second. So the top shelf, they got all their desserts here, and some of these desserts are the full size, and some of them are partial sizes. So for example, this carrot cake would be divided into about 4 parts. This guy, these are the pancakes. This would be divided into like the whole thing actually, and then the chocolate cake, that would probably be divided into maybe a couple pieces. And then of course they have these little smaller desserts, and then this is some kind of like a toast with fruit and nuts. So on the bottom, over on this section, they have 3 little appetizers. And the appetizers today are, they got some sushi rolls, and it's a nori, and it looks like they got avocado on the outside. On the inside they got sprouted quinoa, and it looks like some cucumbers with a little bit of a ginger and soy sauce dip or something. And then they have some hummus with flax crackers, and this is a zucchini almond hummus. And then they have a red pepper cashew hummus with the flax crackers. Then what you're looking at here, these are some of the different options that you can get this week. And so like, it's kind of like when you go into a Japanese restaurant and they got those like fake plastic displays of the food you're gonna get. This is not exactly what you're gonna get, because these are just showing the ingredients. So if you want to know the ingredients, you can see the ingredients. Of course, when they come to you, they'll be all mixed up into a salad. So let's go over some of the different entrees and the selection of entrees they have today. This is the salad that will get once again mixed up, and it has cabbage, tomatoes, cauliflower with a barbecue sauce, and then baby corn that can be rare, hard to find actually in the States, but coming to some of the countries in Central America, I've found it more often. Next here they have like their version of the Caesar salad with some kale, sprouted quinoa, coconut bacon, avocado, and some dehydrated mushrooms. Then they have maybe like marinara style with the sun-dried tomatoes, looks like pine nuts, broccoli, sprouted zucchini. Over here is like more of a sprout salad with the sprouted lentils and peppers, sun-dried tomatoes, kale, and some pecans. And here is a little sandwich they have. Looks like some bread with some lettuce and some other dehydrated vegetables with a nice little sauce. And then they have like just other different salads. So that's like the next salad is in the back. It's got the carrots, the cabbage, cauliflower, sprouts, bean sprouts, and cashews. That's kind of like the Asian style. Then we got the one in the back. It's got some local squash. So it's kind of like a pumpkin squash. And they say that's the one they actually pour hot water over, although they confirm that it is raw, with some asparagus, some quinoa, and some greens. And then I think they got like maybe another salad with the sprouted garbanzo beans, greens, and some sprouted vegetables. So how it works here is you could buy everything separate. So you could get like an entree, and you could get like an appetizer, or you could get like, and then a dessert separately, or for a better value, and that's what we're getting today, is you could get like one appetizer, so you choose one of those three, and then you choose one of the entrees that are over here, and then you just get a little small like sampling size dessert, not like a full size dessert. And yeah, so we've already ordered and we're waiting for our food, and so hopefully that comes out soon. Actually our appetizers are here, so we're gonna sit down and eat, and then maybe when we're waiting again, I'll show you guys like some of the to-go foods that they have available. So the appetizers actually were already here while I was still filming, and so they came out really fast. Let me show you guys what we got. We got the sushi here, and then we got the hummus with the red pepper and the cashews, and we got the flax crackers. So just eating this real fast is just really delicious. Like the flax crackers I really like, they're really light and airy, not like really thick, and they also grind up most of the flax seeds, so you're gonna digest them better than the people that leave the flax seeds whole. The hummus here, it's like really a watery hummus, so like I'm used to making things a bit thicker. It does have some oil in there that is floating to the top. I would say it's like mostly pepper with some cashews and some oil and some other seasonings. It's actually pretty bland for me, but it's actually quite good because it's actually not too salty, which is a big problem that a lot of restaurants have. I'll try the sushi later, and I'll let you guys know what I think. So I want to go ahead and give you guys an update on the sushi. So the sushi, the portion size was quite small, although actually I liked it. Yeah, just leave it with that. It was actually quite good and refreshing. The quinoa was really a nice addition to the sushi, and I'm gonna have to try that when I get home actually. And then now, before we could even finish the appetizers, the salads came, so that's really good service here. A lot of raw food restaurants, it's taken so long. But here we got 2 salads. This is the Caesar, this is how it is all fully combined. And then this is the barbecue fully combined. So it's all the ingredients that you guys saw in the case, but it's all mixed up. And we're gonna go ahead and enjoy our salads, and we'll come back at you later with my review. So, got done with the salads. Actually, they're quite excellent. This is the best food me and my girlfriend have had in Costa Rica to date. Well, at least this trip anyways. They're both great. They tasted really good. I was concerned with the cauliflower on my dish. Like, it's really soft and tender, like it's been steamed. So I'm not really sure what's up with that. I'll probably be asking the chef about that. So then on hers, she had the Caesar salad and it had the quinoa. And so the quinoa, it may have been soaked and sprouted, but then it seems also very soft. So it may have been somehow cooked or heated. So maybe they're pouring hot water over it or something. I'm gonna be asking the chef about that. So yeah, anyways, both of those were really good. Next, we got the desserts. So with our meal deal, we got small desserts. And this one is basically their take on the Snickers bar. So it's some kind of cacao nut base with peanut butter on top. And then I got like a compote thing with like, wow, actually, not so good. This is actually quite warm on the bottom. So it's actually really warm. So it's like some berries on the bottom. with some quinoa crumble. This looks like actually a nut crumble to me, with some rhubarb ice cream on the top, sweetened with agave. So it's definitely gonna be interesting. So we just had dessert, and actually it was quite good. Let's see, my compote thing tastes like cherry pie with ice cream, so that was actually quite good. And then Lauren had the Snickers bar replacement, and then I had half of that. I ate mostly the bottom half. I had a taste of the top half, but after tasting the top half, I was like, oh, this is like roasted peanuts. So I didn't want to eat the rest. But the bottom half with a little bit of the top half was all right, okay? The other thing I want to let you guys know real quick before we gotta go, we gotta catch our bus, we're late for the flight, is the water here is filtered water and ionized water. So that's cool, they provide that. This one has cucumber, and they provide one on the counter with the cinnamon sticks. The food was so good here that actually we're gonna go ahead and get some items to go, and we're gonna do that now and show you guys some of the new things they put out since we've been here. And then we're gonna get some items to go, then we'll come back at you when I'm actually in the hotel room eating dinner. This is also gonna be our dinner tonight. And I'll share with you guys what I learned about this place. So they came out with a few of the different desserts for the meal deal that we had. And these are them. It's the chocolate, the peanut butter one, and then the compote thing we had. They also came out with on the bottom here, they came out with some spring rolls as an appetizer, and then like a dehydrated bean falafel as an option. So actually we got one of each of the new items that came out, and we got 2 new desserts, and also we got some of the desserts to try for later. Now besides just the items you could order, they have prepared juices and like nut milks, including cacao nut milk, water with charcoal in it, and different juices, Gazpacho, and some of the yogurt, or the coconut yogurt. Then they have a small selection of packaged foods, including seeds and nuts, and some dehydrated vegetables, some nut butters, and some local honey, some coffee honey. So yeah, that's pretty much what's up. We gotta grab our food and we gotta get the heck out of here. All right, so you guys last saw me actually at the Raw Co, and I was actually finishing up. We actually had to get out of there, and actually we walked back to the hotel, and then we had to catch a bus. We missed the bus, so we caught an Uber to the hotel, a different hotel that's right next to the airport, because we fly out tomorrow at like 6 a.m. I just got done filming some videos like late with a friend here in Costa Rica. Those are gonna be on growingyourgreens.com if they're not already. 2 excellent interviews. He got here at like 6:30, and we didn't get done filming till 11. These are how my days go. Yeah, quite busy, and oftentimes I forget about food, or I'm a little bit hungry, and I just got to keep working because I have an important mission to make the videos and to spread some of the knowledge that I share. So actually, before I started filming videos, I drank this guy, this bottle. I don't know how big it is, maybe 500 milliliters. But this is a raw Gazpacho. So it's basically Gazpacho's traditional Spanish dish, and this is a blended Gazpacho smoothie, and I drank it and it was quite good. Had some oil content in there, a little bit salty for me, but the flavor was completely excellent. And Lauren tasted it also, and she said it was quite good. And this definitely held me over for several hours while filming the video, so that was definitely really good. Oh yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over all the different food we bought for takeaway. Lauren got 500 milliliters of this guy, and this is the Kakaw Bliss drink, and it's basically almonds, water, vanilla, cacao, maca, and dates. So this is kind of like almond milk, chocolate style. Lauren loved it a lot, although it kind of like, because it has a lot of cacao, she doesn't normally do cacao, it kind of made her heart beat faster and whatnot. But she loved the way it tasted, and she was inspired with this drink to make like one out of carob when we get home to drink on her juice fast that she'll be doing really soon. I drank like a sip of this stuff. I'm like, oh, you know, it's all right. I'm not a big fan of almond milk, so I'm like, but I could make a better version of this with coconut milk, which I will do, and it's gonna be off the hook. So yeah, that definitely inspired us. The other things we bought were the carrot cake right here. And the carrot cake, it looks like your standard like nut, dried fruit cake with the topping, maybe cashew cream. And then over here, We got the chocolate cake that looks really good. I'm like really hungry right now. So that's for the dessert. And I guess the goal is we're gonna split each of the half of it. And I don't know how much I'm gonna eat because I'm kind of hungry right now. And then I got the same setup we got for the lunch. We got the 3 package deal. So you get the appetizer, the entree, and then a tiny little dessert for one price. So for my appetizer, I got the falafels made out of beans. Then I got the sandwich because I didn't know that was an option earlier. Lauren got these guys, which is now empty, the spring rolls, and then she got the Caesar salad again because she really loved this. I like trying new stuff. She likes, you know, if she likes what she likes, she's gonna get the same thing. And then of course we got our little, I think a brownie bite or something, like the small dessert that came with the package deal. All this stuff, you know, in my opinion, was reasonably priced for a raw food restaurant, yet it did cost a pretty penny. Maybe if I remember, I'll post up like the number of colones and then the dollar amount that all this food, including these bottles, cost. So far, so good. All the food tasted delicious to me. And I guess next, I'm so hungry, I gotta start digging into this stuff. What I think I'll do is I'll actually just take a bite of one thing, share with you guys what I thought about it, and then maybe like eat the rest and then move on to the next one. And I'm only supposed to eat half of these 2 items so that Lauren could try them also. All right, so first I'm gonna try the falafels here. You know, try to rip off like half of a lettuce leaf that it's supposed to go on. And we'll grab half here. So this looks like a little veggie burger, veggie patty. Tastes really beany. Tastes all right. Stay tuned for the end of this episode to learn more about how they made this. It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, this is all right. I think I like the hummus and dip that I had earlier instead of this a little bit more. Actually, I like this. I like the sushi a lot. Probably that was my favorite one of all the appetizers I tried. But that one, it wasn't so big. So that bean dish was actually quite interesting. I don't think I've ever had anything like that before. When I bought it, the guy that sold it said, "Oh yeah, it's all raw. It's a dehydrated." So I'm thinking, man, how do they make beans raw? Anyways, took his word for it and I bought it. And I would say, I mean, it was all right. What definitely was not one of my favorite things at that restaurant. Let's move on to the sandwich here. They give you a little dip here. I think that's for the sandwich, and then they give you some, I think these were dehydrated chips. Yep, they were definitely dehydrated, but because they were in the fridge, and it's been several hours, they've kind of thawed out a little bit, or hydrated a little bit. Just different kinds of leaf chips, maybe coconut chips. Maybe a beet chip. I mean, it's all right. If you don't let them get all like humidified, I think that'd actually be quite good. So next, we're gonna go ahead and try that sandwich. And if I open up the sandwich for you guys, I don't know if you guys can see that too good, but there's lettuce, tomatoes, avocado, maybe some kind of pickles and a sauce. And maybe like between some flax style bread. First, we're gonna eat it plain, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put some sauce on it. So I got the outside where the crust is. Bread tastes good, a little bit dry. I didn't get where they got the sauce because the sauce is kind of mostly in the center. I got an edge. So maybe I'll dip the other edge in the sauce and eat some of that. Definitely with the sauce, it tastes way better. Sauce reminds me of some kind of like, it's really dilly, So it kind of reminds me of like a ranch, you know, dressing or something. Quite good. I think I'll finish more of this and we'll come back at you with my opinions about it. So I just got done with the other half of the sandwich, and I must say that it was actually quite good. I did put a whole bunch of the dressing, you know, the ranch style dressing, like on the sandwich, and once I did that, it kind of like diluted the flavor of the sandwich, so I didn't taste the sandwich so much anymore. But overall, I actually liked the sandwich. It was pretty good. I would say that I liked it, I mean, because it tasted good. The bread was good bread, and the filling was nice because it was mostly vegetables. And that's one of the things I like about the Raw Co, or Raw Co, is that, you know, when I immediately walked up to their display case, you saw all the ingredients in the recipes, and the majority of it, it was like nice servings of fresh vegetables. This is really important, you know, in our diet, in my opinion, and also for raw food restaurants. Like vegetables, they're a cheap ingredient, right? Nuts, they get expensive. So I really like places that use lots of fresh vegetables with some nuts, you know, for some extra fat, and of course seasonings. And so like these are healthier raw food options than, you know, restaurants that have only things that are like high fat, nut, and dates, you know, desserts. Of course, the desserts of this restaurant were like the classic raw food desserts, and that's cool, you know, gotta have some fun too. So yeah, that was that. And then yeah, I think that's actually all the food I'm eating, because the Caesar is supposed to be all for Lauren, so we'll save it for her. But that means I get to move on to the desserts, which I'm looking forward to. First, I'm going to eat that little brownie bit thing that came with my package deal. It's the top is actually, even though it's all brown, the top is like a different kind of texture. It's much softer, and it's not the same as the bottom, which is probably like some kind of nut, dried fruit. Overall, it tastes like a brownie. Really chocolatey, really sweet. It's good. Hopefully, after eating all this cacao, I'll be able to sleep tonight. Next, I'm moving on to that chocolate cake. Since I just had the chocolate brownie, which is good, figure the chocolate cake is probably gonna be similar. It's a pretty thick texture. Oh, I think they're using actually coconut flour in these guys. I forget. A little bit different texture. This one's actually a little bit more dense actually than the little brownie bite. Not quite as sweet. I like that a lot. Got to take another bite to figure it out. So the filling has a mild chocolatey flavor, a lot of texture. Seems to me like the texture is a lot of like processed nuts and like a food processor that still have some bits in there. Not like super large, but it's like the texture of like crunchy peanut butter, if you know that texture. It's quite good and mild. I'm gonna go ahead and go for the frosting separately next. Frosting's good. Once again, nice and chocolatey, so if you love chocolate and you're raw, this is the raw pie you're gonna wanna get. One of the better raw chocolate cakes that I've tried. I think the thing that comes to my mind is that they're not trying too hard. Some raw chocolate cakes are like over the top. They're like really sweet and really dominating flavors. The flavors on this one, to me, are kind of like mellow and in the background, but you definitely taste the chocolate. So I like that a lot. I think I'm gonna eat some more. All right, next, we're on to the carrot cake, or what I think is carrot cake. That's what it looks like anyways. Got a nice scoop of that there. This is a carrot cake. I mean, it really reminds me of a carrot cake I used to eat as a kid. I mean, this one's all raw, of course. Maybe a little bit more nuts. Good texture on the inside. I mean, excellent flavor. Once again, I've tasted a lot of carrot cakes, and sometimes they like try to just make it a carrot cake too much, and like it's too strong or it's like too weak, and you can't really taste that carroty and the flavors that you're used to. This one is like, boom, spot on. Like, this has to be one of the best raw desserts I've tasted, like, ever. For sure. All right, so I want to give you guys an update on the pie here, or the carrot cake. Let's see. I ate it separately, like the topping or the frosting without the bottom, and the bottom without the frosting or whatever. It definitely wasn't as good. So the frosting is what really makes the carrot cake good. It's when you eat both of them together, not the frosting separate and not the cake itself, but you get a little bit of frosting and the cake. So what I would recommend, instead of making the cake like this tall, you guys can see how tall it is here. Yep, you guys can see how tall it is right there. I would probably like take a frosting, make it like half as tall, and then make a frosting layer, and then put the other half up on top, and then put the frosting on top, so you have like a middle frosting layer. This will truly take this carrot cake over the top. Of course, oh, this backside, it looked like it did have frosting on it, and I saved that side for Lauren, so she'd get more frosting than me. So that's cool. All right, so I pretty much had everything that I'm gonna eat tonight for you guys. And I want to share with you guys what I learned from the chef. Oh, getting a mucus reaction in my mouth. Not a good sign. Might be from something in these cakes or something I ate. Well, it has to be. So it's not often that I get mucus reactions. It's only when I like eat out at a restaurant. I get a mucus reaction. My body objects to something I'm eating, and it lets me know immediately. Like if your kids got mucus, man, I mean, it's probably because you're feeding them dairy. There's no dairy in this stuff, but I'm reacting to something, and we need to listen to that. So if you're eating the same food and it's giving you a lot of mucus, like after you eat it, it's probably something you shouldn't be eating. Anyways, aside from that, I did interview or talk to the chef a lot, and I want to pass on with what I've learned. So when I walked in to the Raw Co, that's their name, you know, the guy told me behind the counter, everything's raw. Because I asked him, okay, is everything vegan? Is everything raw? And he's like, well, everything in the case is vegan. We add some raw goat cheese on some of the salads, but nothing in the case has the raw goat cheese. They also have honey on some items, but they also use maple syrup and agave. So if you don't want honey, just make sure you ask them about that. So yeah, everything's vegan except for the goat cheese and the honey, if you consider honey not vegan. Anyways, that's another topic for another day. And then he said, nothing here is cooked, everything is raw. So that's what the staff person told me, right? So then we ordered everything, and then I'm like, well, if everything's raw, like you said, there's like squash on there, on that dish, and there's like, it looked like to me like when you cook sweet potato, that's what it looks like. Well, this was like cooked squash. That's what it looked like to my eyes. And I'm like thinking to myself, man, I've been around the block on raw foods, 21 years now. I've never seen anything like that. Maybe it was like slow cooked over a long period of time. So he's like, oh, well, we take the squash, we just pour some hot water over it, like really quickly. So he's like, it's still raw. And I'm just like a red flag kind of went up in my head. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not getting that dish. So then, anyways, I talked to the chef and I'm like, so is everything raw here? And she explained like, no. You know, when we started the company, Raw Co, everything was entirely raw. It was entirely raw, sprouting everything, doing everything. And then she said like, but I discovered and learned that, you know, raw foods is a small niche, or like a really small segment of the population that will go to eat there. So that means for her business, she would only have a few people eating there, and she would lose money, and she'd have to close her business. And she didn't want that to happen. Neither would I want that to happen, to have such a great resource here in Costa Rica, in Escazú, for people to have healthy choices. So she decided to keep it mostly all raw, but add some cooked foods in so that she would attract more people so that they could start eating healthier, start eating, plant-based, healthy, minimally processed foods. So she did admit to actually cooking the quinoa that's in this Caesar salad. And I had half of Lauren's Caesar salad earlier, and that was like, I thought it was raw, but when I was eating it, I'm like, okay, maybe sprouted it and then like blanched it, because like this quinoa is like really soft. I've never tasted raw quinoa this soft before. So anyways, I found out that was cooked. And then the cauliflower that was in my barbecue salad, that was like melt in your mouth soft. I took it, put it in my mouth, and I mean, it didn't quite melt in my mouth, but it was really soft. Like, I've never, over 21 years of raw foods, had cauliflower that soft. So then I asked her, I'm like, is the cauliflower cooked? She's like, no. She's like, we take the cauliflower, we soak it in water for 24 hours. I'm gonna have to try that. I don't know if I ever soak cauliflower in water for 24 hours, but cauliflower is meant to be in the garden, in the rain, and doesn't really absorb moisture too well unless you cook it and really damage the cells, right? I'm gonna try that. So, I mean, I kind of think that the cauliflower was cooked. She claims it was raw. I ate it. Whatever. This is why I claim I'm only 99% raw for different herbs and spices, dehydrated, foods that I may eat that I didn't make myself that are raw, like sun-dried tomatoes and dried fruits and some nuts. But on a regular basis, I don't eat anything cooked. So, that takes us to the beans. All right, yeah, this was an interesting one. So once again, the guy told us it's dehydrated. I asked her at the end, so are the beans, are they really just dehydrated? And especially certain kinds of beans, you really need to cook them to get rid of some of the toxins, like this kind of beans. So she's like, the beans, what we do is we soak the beans for 3 days, so then they kind of start to sprout. And then she says, and then we cook them fast. And she said it that fast. No, just kidding. She said, and then we cook them fast, and then we put them in the dehydrator to dehydrate into patties. So I'm like, all right. But I ate it earlier tonight anyways. So whatever. And then let's see. I think that was the only, those are, and then I think maybe the squash, not raw. Yeah, I mean, anyways, the point of the matter is she started cooking some things to attract a broader audience, because she said some people's systems was not used to digesting raw cauliflower and raw quinoa and different things or different vegetables, so they're better cooked actually. And because she did this, she's actually attracting more business. So, I must realize that there's not like a million John Kohlers that like strive to eat all raw and do the best they can. For a standard Costa Rican person or even American to come here to eat at the Raw Co, it's amazing. It's some of the best raw food I've ever tasted, and some of it's cooked, right? But what I do wish is that they're more transparent with this, had better signage, had their staff trained better so they know the truth, and that they're not trying to hide anything. The guy in the beginning was like, oh yeah, it's all raw, and all this stuff, and I'm like looking at some of the things and I'm like, dude, that's not raw. And I'm like, okay, now he's lying to me. And then you kind of wonder, what else are they lying about? What else are they making up? So all I ask for in life with businesses and all this stuff is transparency. So they should just, maybe have a list of ingredients and say this isn't raw and this is raw. And I mean, fact of the matter is 99% of people ain't gonna care, except if John Kohler or somebody else that's really into it walks in and they're just really trying to be raw. Not that you get an award for being 100% raw, not that like anything special happens, because all the food there tasted great and it's all based on raw fruits and vegetables, or mostly vegetables, raw plants. And every dish was at least over 50% raw. And I think for the standard person, you know, that's great. That's great. So I guess the next thing is, the spring rolls. Yeah, I mean, I saw the spring roll wrappers that you're not seeing here. You might have saw it in the case earlier in the clip. Lauren ate those. I will not eat those because the wrappers are straight up cooked. I don't eat spring roll wrappers. I'll eat nori wraps, but not spring roll wrappers. So that's why she ate these and I didn't. So I don't know how they were. I'm sure they were good. They said they were filled with kelp noodles, which another thing that, while it may be raw, I don't tend to eat those because they're highly processed. The highly processed raw food, they don't resemble like kelp out of the ocean. And I have another video on that actually. So yeah, so I mean, that's basically what the chef and I talked about. And you know, I mean, I agree with her. I'm not gonna say like, oh, you gotta be all raw. I'm glad she, you know, expanded her menu, expanded her thoughts, and has greater business. And the good news is so good that actually she told me, yeah, just this week, she says, we opened in San Jose on the south side a to-go Raw Co location. She said it's too much work to have 2 kitchens and 2 places making the food, and even just trying to find good help that could make this food well was difficult. So I think she makes the food in her location now and takes it over to the other place and sells it there. So I'm glad about that. There needs to be more vegan places and more places that serve raw food, even if they're not 100%. I mean, this place is so close. They have fresh juices. They're all raw, cold pressed, right? The juices came in small bottles and they're quite expensive, but hey, I encourage people to make their own juices. It's really inexpensive to make your own juices once you have your own juicer. And if you need a juicer and are in the US, be sure to check out discountjuicers.com. That's a shameless plug. But yeah, I guess, you know, that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys tonight and about the restaurant. I'm sure Lauren, if she was in the video, would have some things to say. Actually, have some really nice things to say. She's like, I mean, this is probably one of her top favorite raw food restaurants she's ever visited. I mean, and this by far is the best food we've had on our 2-week journey being in Costa Rica. I mean, in the first week, we're at the Costa Rica Fruit Festival, where we're supposed to have like unlimited exotic fruits. I put that in quotes. And also, gourmet, low-fat, raw vegan meals. And actually, those kind of sucked. So yeah, this food kicked ass. Although, I mean, still gave me a mucus reaction, can't forget about. Didn't get a mucus reaction, I guess, at the Costa Rica Fruit Festival. Any case, I want to leave you guys with my review of this. As you guys know that have watched my past raw food restaurant video reviews, I'm a hard reviewer. Hard to please me. You know, I expect a lot because I compare, you know, what I eat at restaurants to what I prepare at my home. Which, if I go to a place that impresses me a lot, I'll be amazed. That's good, because places should strive to have the highest quality produce and create healthy foods that are going to make people well, make people feel good. I mean, that's the other thing. Like, I wonder how I'm going to feel tomorrow, because when a lot of restaurant reviewers do restaurant reviews, they go over how the taste is. I mean, I did that. I'm guilty of it. But what's even more important than the taste is how you feel after you eat it, and more importantly, how you feel the next day. Does the heavy, dense, you know, raw desserts make you feel like you got a brick in your stomach and then you're constipated the next day? Maybe you want that. I don't know. Does it, when you eat it, does it make you feel tired and want to sleep? I mean, I ate some heavy nut-based dishes tonight. I'm probably going to be sleeping like pretty sound. I'm going to be like out like a rock. Or maybe the cacao is going to stimulate me and I'm going to be up for a couple hours. We'll see what happens, you know. Just having fun. I'm enjoying life, and I want you guys to enjoy life too. So anyways, with my rating system, I rate things from 0 to 5 apples. I think this restaurant, I mean, I'll give them a solid 4 apples. I mean, that's one of my higher reviews. I don't necessarily get too much higher than that. I mean, the taste was great. I kind of wonder about some of the sauces they were using, if they were really raw or not. I didn't get time to ask. Let's see. Most of the produce was all fresh. I didn't find any bad leaves. That was good. Although in the display case, I did see some mung beans that were like really not looking like they should be in the display case because they were kind of like old and wilty. And that wasn't good because that wasn't even what came out. That was just like what they're trying to show to look good to sell it. So they should definitely replace that and try to keep up with their displays. Let's see. So the freshness, quality, taste. I mean, portion sizes, they were good for a raw food restaurant. Especially you want to go there and get the meal deal package, which is the appetizer, the entree, and the small dessert. That was the best deal by far. The desserts, I mean, were expensive for what they are, but they're in line with other desserts I bought. Same with the drinks. I mean, I'm a cheapskate. I would never buy myself almond milk because it's like mostly water and a little bit of almonds and some dates and some flavorings. And I'd make it myself, but Lauren wanted it. So you know what? You got to keep the girlfriend happy. So I bought it for her, and you know, she really loved it. So I'm like, it's the best, whatever, $6 or whatever it was I ever spent on a drink for, you know, because she was happy. That's all I want. I want to be happy. I want her to be happy, and I want you guys to be happy. And that's why I make these reviews, so that you guys could know if these places will make you happy or not. And oh yeah, the Gazpacho, that was good too. But yeah, overall, 4 to 5 apples. I loved it. I'll be coming back when I come to Costa Rica every single time. Let's see, the tips would be, I would, instead of just going there and getting their stuff, which is a bit more heavier than I normally eat, I would try to get some lettuce or some cucumbers or something and eat that first, or bring that and eat that with the food they're serving. So it kind of lighten it up a little bit and give you a little bit more water content. Some of the food, you know, especially the desserts. I mean, not the food. The food was pretty hydrating, but the desserts definitely dehydrating. They're all like nut and dried fruit based. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll put a link down to their Facebook and if they have a web page and all this kind of stuff, so you guys could check them out. And I definitely would encourage you guys to visit them when you're in Costa Rica and tell them that you saw, you learned about them on the OK Raw YouTube channel. And maybe they'll appreciate me a little bit next time when I go there, when I'm in town next. Wonder what me and my girlfriend eat when we're on an airplane? Well, let me show you. These are like my last night's dinner that I saved for my girlfriend because I did a review video. She's eating some of the gourmet stuff, and this is what I'm eating. I got all these grenadillas on this side, and really special passion fruit, and of course I got a coconut. And this coconut is a special coconut. Check it out. This is a sprouted coconut. Yeah, enjoying gourmet food on the airplane. Look at that. We're gonna cut into that. Look at this, sprouted coconut. I would rather have a sprouted coconut instead of raw pies. This stuff's the bomb. All right, eat healthy, eat fresh, eat plants. So you guys just saw what I ate for dinner last night, then you saw what I had for breakfast in the morning, sprouted coconut and some passion fruits, and then you saw also what Lauren was eating, which is you know, what I didn't eat and what I saved for her the next day. And so now she's going to share her opinions with you in her review about the Raw Co restaurant that we ate at.
Yeah, so I think that restaurant was probably one of the best raw restaurants I've ever eaten at. I really loved it. I got the Caesar salad, and that was awesome. So I got that for lunch that day we were there, and then I ate it for breakfast. I got 2 orders, and I ate the other one for breakfast the next day because I liked it so much. And then I think for appetizers, I had... We ordered a lot of food there, so we had like a lot of appetizers. I had one of them was the sushi, which was really great, except it was a very small portion. It's just 3 little cut pieces of a roll. And then I had the black bean lettuce wrap, which was really awesome. And then the spring rolls, really great with like this peanut sauce. It was awesome. And then the hummus, that was okay. And I can't remember if we got any other appetizers, but anyway, and then we got dessert, and that was great. So we had like the chocolate cake So anything with chocolate on top was like my favorite thing ever. So like the stuff with peanut butter on top, I mean the chocolate stuff, like the chocolate cake, it just tasted like a cake. Like it tasted like a chocolate cake. Like I couldn't believe it was just like cacao and nuts. I was like, it looked kind of like it was just, I don't know, like the cake batter or whatever. And it tasted like chocolate cake, so it was really great. And then the carrot cake was good. I've never really been a fan of carrot cake, but it's hard to believe that they just made it out of plants. It just tastes like carrot cake. Like, I can't really, I couldn't really tell a difference from what I remember. And then, yeah, I think that's basically it.
What about the other entrees or the drink you had?
Oh, yes. One of my favorite things ever at the restaurant. We ate a lot, but one of my favorite things that we got in the fridge in the drink section was the raw vegan chocolate milk, which was made out of almonds and cacao and vanilla and dates and all kinds of that stuff, and it was really awesome. It was just so good. I highly recommend that. Oh, and the gazpacho was good too. I wouldn't probably order like the gazpacho again. The things I'd get again are the chocolate cake, the chocolate milk, and the Caesar salad. Again, like so. Yeah, we definitely ate a lot. So that night, I mean, I actually felt good too after that day we ate. We did go pretty overboard with this. So, like, I had all that stuff for breakfast the next day too. Then I think, I just kind of did that, and I had a big giant salad that night and a lot of, anyway, so I got a stomach ache the second day, but I'm not surprised. I did it. So like, but I don't blame it on the restaurant. I mean, I think I just was really, I mean, we ordered a lot of food from there. So, so I like it. And one more thing I would say, I feel like I'm talking a lot, but if you have like a friends or family and you're in Costa Rica and maybe they're not into vegan or raw stuff, it'd be an excellent place to take people there to show how flavorful this food can be, because I mean, I think anybody can go there and be like, wow, this is like really good. So I think it's a great place to go for that kind of thing.
Good deal. Thanks, Lauren. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely say after eating there, I didn't feel any major adverse effects. I didn't like puff up. I didn't get like any kind of sore stomachs or any kind of weird stuff happening to me. So that's always a good thing. And also, you know, although we went to Costa Rica, and even though we ate a lot at the restaurant, overall we lost weight during our time in Costa Rica. So yeah, that's a whole nother topic. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this restaurant review, hey, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Tell me no. I'll be sure to take Lauren out with me and do more restaurant reviews with her, because I like it when we get different opinions. So you guys can hear my opinion and hers, because we got different opinions. We're two different people, and that's really cool. But we both tend to agree that this place is a really good restaurant to hang out at. I would just maybe, if you're concerned about the ingredients and if they're really raw, make sure to ask them and just make sure to talk to the chef, because she really knows what's up. The workers there, maybe they need to get retrained a little bit. So yeah. Also be sure to click the subscribe button right down below. You never know where I'll show up, what kind of video you'll be seeing, and what you'll be learning on my YouTube channel. I put out videos every 5 to 7 days. Also be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 400 episodes now, where I visited many other different raw food restaurants and give reviews, and also do many interviews with a lot of people, to share the knowledge about eating a fruit and vegetable dominated diet. And also, finally, be sure to share this video with someone else that either lives in Costa Rica or is going to Costa Rica soon, so they'll know about the best raw vegan restaurant that I've been to in Costa Rica. So once again, my name is John Kohler with my beautiful girlfriend,
Lauren,
with OKRaw.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, remember, keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables. They're always the best. Expo 2016, and we're in the hall with all the different heirloom fruits and vegetables. They got like displays of like garlic and tomatoes and peppers and eggplants and melons and squash and watermelons and